That's what I was doing. Okay. Lovely, lovely. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead because I wanna see Jeremy, but I will probably come back and play the rest of these some other time. I'll put a save here, just for good measure. But for now, we're just gonna say that summer ended. I'll never get tired of that view. You stood beside your moms, Lizzie, and Cove as the five of you watched the sun dip into the ocean somewhere far, far away. You like to imagine it cooling off in the water, resting itself before getting ready to shine brightly again tomorrow. That was a fun day. I didn't know they had magicians on the shopping street now. I did. Neither did I. Oh no, we're so dull. Let's get out more. He didn't do real magic, Mom. How did you figure that one out?
Duh.
'Cause I know that's not what that's not what real magic looks like. Oh, Lizzie dear, there's all kinds of magic in the world. Lizzie gives Mommy a suspicious look, but doesn't dispute the claim. You looked over at Cove, who hadn't said a word since you started home. He didn't look upset, though, just content. You're aware he still hadn't quite warmed up to your parents. Well, we can't sit out here all night. Time to hurry home and get cooking. Who's helping with dinner? Lizzie immediately let out a groan.
Ugh.
Mom, summer's almost over. The protest was obvious. You could practically see school on the horizon. You certainly didn't want to spend your last bits of freedom cooking dinner. You could do that any other day. Please, can we play just a little longer? Please, Mother, please. Okay, let's see. We have to keep playing before it's too late. It is almost over. Puppy dog eyes. Yeah, I'll be the obnoxious kid. Please, can we play just a little longer? Mom looked down at you with a sigh, and you clasped your hands together to give your plea some extra appeal. Well, help with dinner tomorrow. You immediately nodded in agreement with the very clever offer, shifting closer to Lizzie since your parents can't possibly resist the power of you two combined.
Please.
Soon we'll have homework and reading to do. We can't do work now, too. Lizzie made her case, then stomped her foot into the ground. You mimicked her, feeling that would add something to the argument. Well...
No.
Come on, Pam. I can help you with dinner. Mommy leaned in for a hug, and you knew that you were very close to victory.
Okay.
All right. But as soon as dinner's ready, you lot are coming inside, understood? Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. Cove, dear, you're welcome to join us as well. You grinned at Cove and nudged his arm with your elbow. Cove gave a non-committal shrug to your mommy, which you took as an agreement. So much to do, so little time. Maybe I could still get the seashell bracelet. And tines and trinkets. Ooh, or maybe the playground. Or the fireflies would probably be coming out, right? Don't I get a say in this? I'm going to silently make my own plans. Lizzie had her own ideas of what she wanted to do, but what were you going to do? You glanced over to Cove, considering. A strong gust of wind made you shiver. Lizzie huffed as she wrapped her arms around herself.
Rude.
Doesn't the wind know that summer's not over yet? That's all Lizzie said before abruptly turning on her heel and heading off in the direction your mothers had gone. Where are you going? I'm going to my room. I have lots to plan if I want to make the most of tomorrow. She literally just begged them to let her stay out and play a bit more, and now she's just going home anyway. Well, I mean, I guess the begging was to not make them help with dinner, but whatever. You thought this over, looking off towards the water again. Lizzie didn't wait, and before long she was disappearing off down the road. Ooh, Cove and me get a moment. Meanwhile, Cove was going in the opposite direction, heading for the beach. Of course I stayed with Cove. Goodness gracious. We're friends. Him and me are friends. Cove gave you a smile that you couldn't help but return. Cool. I don't know if he was supposed to be there or not, but whatever. He made a little gesture that you interpreted as follow me, and then started heading to the waves. Let's go to the beach. Let's go get away. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. Exactly, you get it. Cove knelt down, picking up something you quickly identified as a smooth rock. Just like my brain. Smooth. He reared his arm back, then tossed it out into the water. See, he's got the right idea. Skipping stones is for weenies. You just have to throw it and make a big ol' splash. Cove gets it. The sea was a good toss. It wasn't a long throw. The rock sunk kind of like a rock and fell back down. You were impressed by how far he got it to go. It sailed way out into the sea. Smooth Brain Hours. Exactly. This is Smooth Brain Hours. Hello, welcome to Smooth Brain Hours. My name is Cal. I'll be your host on the Smooth Brain Hours. You can't skip rocks in the ocean. Skipping rocks is for weenies. I just said that. You looked for your own rock. Deciding to join Cove, you searched nearby for any rocks or shells that you could throw too. You found a shell that would suit your purposes, a smile growing as you tossed it as hard as you could. It landed with a wet-sounding thunk a few feet away and slipped down into the water. When you looked over at Cove, he didn't seem to notice that his throw had been more impressive. Cove was looking down at his cast, scratching idly at the pink surface, even though you were pretty sure he couldn't feel it. His brows were furrowed, and there was a frown on his face.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. I've had to wear this cast for ages. I can't even swim. Okay, yeah, I want to know. How the hell did you get it? So casual. I was jet skiing. Cool. You beamed at him. You had never gone jet skiing, but you'd seen others do it all the time from the shore. It looked impressive. Cove looked a little taken aback by your outburst, but after a second he gave a small nod. He then continued to explain. I crashed. Oh god, are you in a coma? Is this all just a coma hallucination? Cove, wake up! You've been asleep for 6 months! He gestured to his arm as if to say, and this was the result. It's hard to believe you're allowed to jet ski.
Well,
I'm not. Oh. Cove let out a huff, plopping down into the sand. I can't believe summer's almost over. You sat down next to him and nodded in agreement, regardless of the sudden topic change. I don't want to go to school. I mean, I would. I don't want to go to a new school. I think it'll be the same school as you and Lizzie. My dad said something about that. Cool. You're gonna like it. Everyone's super nice. You'd only ever been to that one school, but you were sure this old school couldn't have been that much better. Then again, he did have to make new friends and meet new teachers. It could be kind of scary. Cove shook his head, then wrapped his good arm around his knees as he drew them to his chest. You heard a sniffling sound, and when you took a good look at his face, you realized that his eyes were wet.
I want to go home.
Aww. You'd never had to move before, but you thought you could understand. If you had to go to a new school all of a sudden with all new people, you'd probably be dreading it too. Even though you sort of maybe understood, you still weren't sure how to help. Me just piecing out, I'll see you later. Sorry, Cove, that's really sucks. Bye. Okay, I'll see you later. Cove gave his head a small shake. No, I want to go back home. Right. Cove wanted to go back to his old home, the one that sat waiting someplace far from here, the one he would bring up whenever he felt this sad. It had been a while since he had moved in, but he didn't seem to feel any better about being here. You settled back down into the sand, trying to consider what to do. Do you hate it here? Cove's brow furrowed even more. Then he shook his head. You felt a rush of relief fill you. You liked having Cove here. It would be sad if he'd been miserable the whole time. You're not going to leave, right? You'll still be around. The question was a little surprising. Of course. Your parents would have mentioned if you were going to move or something, right? After a second, Cove gave a little nod. Once I get my cast off, we could go swimming. You were fine with him changing the subject again. Yeah, that'd be fun. Cove smiled, then looked back to the waves. My dad keeps saying I'll get used to everything eventually. That I'd feel better then. It used to make me angry. I don't want to get used to everything. You spared a glance over at Cove to see the anger had slipped off his face in favor of something almost puzzled. But maybe that would be okay after all, as long as I really do feel better. I can't see it. You could remember a long time ago when you'd first started going to school. You had absolutely not been okay with the idea of being away from your parents for most of the day, to listen to strangers tell you what to do, and to sit with kids you'd never met before. Things changing is hard. Aww. It's so gay. You held his hand. I can. I'll make sure you do. If I hold his hand, that's really gay and cute, but saying I can is also really sweet. Let's just be cute and gay. You held his hand. You're not quite sure what to say to that, so instead you reach out and take hold of Cove's hand. The one closest to you is the one in his cast, so you made sure you were very gentle. As you watched, Cove's eyes got a little misty once more. You got the feeling that they were different tears than the ones from before, though. I hope next summer I'll surf and go exploring and everything will feel like it's supposed to again. You will. It will. The two of you sat quietly, just taking in the sounds of the waves. You hoped that Cove would be able to accept this place as his new home. You definitely try to help in what ways you could. There were so many wonderful things here Cove probably hadn't even seen yet. Lost in thought, you started a bit when you heard a faint, familiar sound. The sound of your mom shouting your name. You looked over your shoulder, realizing it was probably time for dinner. Time had gone by fast. You stood and dusted the sand off of yourself. My mom's calling. It's time for dinner. You should come. Cove looked up at you, expression screaming reluctance. Yet, ultimately... Okay. When you smiled, Cove returned with one of his own. Lewis?
Thanks.
Thanks. It was nice, where you were right then. But the two of you couldn't stay there in your own little world any longer. You were being called forward. So the both of you ran off towards your house, leaving the waves and summer behind. Wow. In between. In between. Okay. In between. Let's see here. Should we change anything about Lewis, or is he just going to remain the same? Cal, you're gay. Oh, see, I think the chat wasn't updating, so I probably couldn't see if you've been saying anything. Have you been saying anything, Alex? Because I haven't been able to see it. Thanks, your Owen Wilson voice will haunt my dreams. Wow. Hell yeah. I'm sorry if anyone's been saying anything. I thought my chat was updating. It was not. Now it is, though, I think. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, I don't think we need to change anything about Lewis. He hasn't changed. Relaxed fondness. Relaxed crush. Okay, yeah, so you can't go back. So we're at fondness. Go with direct fondness. Relaxed fondness. Mostly I was just simping over your voice, so you didn't miss much except Alex is drawing you, apparently. Oh! Dope. I'm glad you like my voice. It is my bread and butter. Oh, that's exciting. Alex is drawing me. Wow. That's so exciting. I can't wait to see it. I'm I'm going to quickly grab some more water. So I'll leave the screen for 1 second. I think it's this one. You're making me fugly? Oh boy. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Buh. I'm so excited to see you make me fugly. That's so exciting. Okay. I think I'm just going to leave myself on relaxed fondness. We don't need to go for direct yet. And I'm not planning on crushing for Cove. We can just be pals. Yeah. Appearance. Personality. How exciting. Let's see. Appearance. All right, this is Cove's appearance. Got that hair, that hair, that hair, that hair, that hair, that hair. I like the spiky one. There can only be one nerd here. I'm not wearing my glasses, but I have them, so you can't wear glasses, Cove. That's illegal. Just bros being dudes. Exactly. Just a couple of good heterosexual bros. Just a couple of straight men being really close with each other and holding hands throughout their childhood. Real straight. Let's see. Oh, both of those are cute. Damn it. Pants. Cove, stop being cute. That's illegal. How dorky do I want him to be? Kind of want him to be a bit of a dork. I don't know. Stop showing your clavicle to me. Jesus. I love that you couldn't call your character or Cove heterosexual without laughing. I mean, because he's a slut. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Alex. Lewis is not a slut, and neither is Cove. They're both good lads. That's why you're seeing his clavicle. Because Cove's a slut. That's so mean. He just really wants me to see it, okay? I get it, Cove. You like Lewis. You want to date him. But you can't. No beads for you. Necklace. No beads for you. You're gonna just look like this. Alex, I will fight you for the honor of Cove's clavicle. That's what Weed Church does to you. Good old Weed Church. It'll turn you into a slut. That's just what happens. Weed Church. Oh god, are we really bringing back Weed Church? Oh god. Weed Church indeed. Oh man. Okay. Alright, okay. I think I'm happy with this one. Yes. Change page. Oh god, we have PJs too. Oh my god, this is so customizable. Jacket. Yeah, there we go. Done. Wait, no, go back. I want to see his person. Yeah, sorry, both. I should have clicked both. My mistake. Okay, there we go. I'll just fix this again. Oh, I didn't register that there was one on this wrist, apparently. There we go. Wow. Yes, this is fine. Change page. Yes, change page. Okay, good. Done. Personality. Oh, is this affected by my choices, like the whatever the defaults are? That's cool. Warm, moderate, cold, mixed, sporty, studious. I'm happy with him being mixed. I like Cove being a mixed bag. I don't want him to be cold. I'm happy with him just being candid but slightly leaning warm. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. August ended. September began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was all right, but kept his distance from the other kids, from what you saw anyway. Whenever he could, Cove stuck to you like glue. Teenage friendship unlocked. Aw, cute. He didn't even mind that much what you did to pass the time, as long as it was together. Aw, he's such a baby. If you don't want him to be cold, get him a sweater. Get that man a sweater so he won't be so cold towards me. Oh, God. Cove, are you simping for Lewis? Is that why you're so attached to him? Nobody tell Heath. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. God, I'm just failing all of my words today. I'm sorry. No English for me. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got, quote, full custody, end quote. At first, you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom for a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too, for different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He had said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Cove absolutely simps for MC. Smooth brain. And in return, the entire Our Life fandom simps for Cove. I mean, you know, if you're gonna design a character who is specifically made to be really dateable, kind of makes sense that character would pretty hardcore simp for you. And then, yes, the fandom returns, so it's all good. I do wonder, like, I wish I could see a statistic of how many people actually went with indifference for, like, either most of or all of their playthrough, especially direct indifference. I want to know how many people actually had the guts to do it all the way through with him, to just kind of be an asshole to him the whole time. I think that would be interesting to see, though, because obviously they made the game possible for you to do that. Stare at me, just look at me. Yes, I know, Alex. I know you did that. Did you play the whole game yet, or are you going to? Because I am curious what happens if you and Cove are just like, he's cold and you're indifferent the whole game. I only know of one person who's done that. I'm the percentage of people who are direct indifferent. Yes, it's you. It's just you. Anyways, Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. He seemed very confident that it was an effective strategy. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. Oh yeah, 2 people, not yet, but I plan on it. I can't do direct indifference, I'll cry. I'd love to, like, either hear your opinion on it, Alex, or just, like, see you play it sometime, because, like, I am genuinely curious what the direct indifference route all the way through the game is. I have no emotions. You can't cry if you can't have feelings. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. 13. I'm 13, and this is deep. Lucas is Alex's one emotion. It's just that one facet of their personality that has emotion. It's just all inside of their feelings for Lucas, their care for him. Oh, hi there. Are you awake, young man? I don't know if y'all can see him on camera, but he is awake. He's scratching. Hi. Oh, you're so cute. Anyways, bring me the boy. You want to see the boy? Hey, Sparta. Sparta, come here. Come here. You gonna come here? Or are you just gonna stare at me? What are you doing? I don't think he wants to come over here. He's very doughy. What? Yeah, no, I think he's a bit sleepy. Bring me Sparta. Oh, alright, I suppose I can bring the boy over. Come here. Oh, there we go. Come here. Okay. Oh. Say hi to everyone. Hey, you. How's it going? Wow, he said bitch. The boy. Oh, he's so doughy. Did you just wake up? Did you have a good nap? Hi. He was napping. Oh, there's the purring. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but he's doing all right. A Twitch influencer. Yes, exactly. This is the Twitch influencer, Sparta. He is a whole lad. There's people watching you right now, buddy. Yeah. What do you think? So insightful. We can hear it. Okay, good. Good. He will chill with us for a while. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, you're licking my arm? You're being extra cute because you're on camera? Okay. Alright. I see how it is. I hope y'all aren't too annoyed by the purring sound. Alright. Yes, whatever. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. Oh, is it okay if I post a link to the stream in another Discord's promo channel? Yeah, of course, absolutely. You can tell anyone you'd like to about this. I am down for whomst ever to be watching. More the merrier. Alright. Also bold of you to assume I'm not thriving from the purring. Fair and legit. You know, I don't think there are many people in this world who would be upset to hear some purring in the audio. You know, I don't think there are many people who would be hurt by having just a little bit of purring. Can you still see his head on camera? Oh, no, you can't. That's too bad. Oh, well. You'll just have to be cute off screen. You're upsetty. Why are you upsetty? Why are you upsetty, Alex? There were other changes, too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Oh, are you leaving me? Okay. He left. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. Because I hear him purring. Oh, I see. You're the 1% that's upset because he's purring. Right. Well, I'm sorry, but Alex, I don't care about how you feel. I'm kidding. And again, I thought you didn't have feelings. Alright. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and other athletic situations. Over the years, he began opening up more, too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. Good, don't just simp for me. Get other feelings. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. Good. We don't need Shiloh in this house. He and his mom moved back south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks, but nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. Because nobody cared about him anymore. It was a long time ago. You learned some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. Wow. I am 13 and this is deep. Things at home were different too. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Ma. Oh, we're calling her Ma now, eh? Ma dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. Oh, that's cute. My mom sometimes dyes a bit of her hair purple. You remember calling her Mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You're much too old for the word. I don't really call my mom Mommy in person, but like over text, I always call her that. I don't know why. She's my mom. She's my mommy. Moms are good, y'all. Moms are very good. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname, too. She insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth, so you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. Maturity-wise, not much. Just a bit. I only say mommy in an unironically gross way, or in an ironically gross way. Yes, it's true. It's hard not to... mommy, I think, has gone the route of daddy in internet spaces where, like, you can't really say it because it means something else now. Like, oh, yes, mommy. Step on me, mommy. Someone should pay me to say that in Jeremy's voice. I'm kidding, no. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek. Oh, how do you say his last name? Is it Juarez or Suarez? I don't remember, but his name is Derek. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dads struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seems Mr. I'm just going to say Suarez because I can't remember. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work if Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed in small and big ways. You had too. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle into the new normal. Then, before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. Anyway, check Twitter, LMA. Oh no, did you post it? Did you draw me? Let's see. My friend was streaming, so I ended up doodling him. Aww! Alex! That's really cute! Thank you. Oh my gosh. Why do you draw me so cute? Oh my god. You draw me so heckin' cute. What the heck? Thank you. Oh my gosh. I fucking love the way you draw me, honestly. Ah. I love it. I love it. You're the best. Ah. That's so heckin' cute. I made you super fugly, LMAO. It's cute. Shut up. Your art is good, and I will not have you talking trash about it in this household. Ooh, that hurt. Ugh. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. Oh, hell yeah, I got that gamer chair. I got a scuba mask. Wow, this is so unrealistic. The laundry in the basket. More like all over the floor. Am I right, gamers? My house is a wreck. The cat is crunching, if you can hear it. He's eating some dinner. Up top. Hell yeah, gamers. Let's get this sadness. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time up by sleeping, wide awake, about to head up. I would be hella asleep. It was hot, but you still had the blanket up over your head to block out the sun. You didn't want it intruding on your lazy morning. Unfortunately, you hadn't prepared for an intrusion. From beneath the blanket, you heard the door creak open. You're still sleeping? Wow, get up. Wow, it's my bitchy older sister. I've always wondered what older sisters must be like. Can't say I know. All I have is a crap ton of younger siblings. I am the oldest. It's just me. I love her. I know you do. I like literally as soon as I saw her as a child in the first frame, I'm like, okay, so this is the one that Alex likes. You definitely don't have a type or anything. You got up, yeah, as if. You started fake snoring loudly. You pretended to still be asleep. Hey! What? I didn't say anything unfactually true. Oh, hello, hello. Oh my gosh, there's like multiple people in here. This is like more people than I ever have. It's nice to see you all. Okay, let's see. Go away. By the impatient tapping of her foot, you could tell she hadn't left. Get up now. I will come over there. So much for a lazy morning. Mom told me to tell you that your friend's at the door. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him. Say thanks or whatever.
Come on.
So come down already. Gah. Gah. Okay, fine. Elizabeth said nothing else and left, having done what was instructed of her. You rolled out of bed, stretching your arms up high and yawning. Time to get ready. You sat yourself in front of the mirror in the far corner of your room. Let's see, your reflection hardly even fit in the frame. You're very tall. Ha! Funny joke. Oh yeah, me. Tall. Everyone knows me. I'm the tall man. That's just... You had trouble getting your reflection to appear in the mountain. Oh no. That was my entire life for a very long time. You had trouble getting your reflection to appear in the frame. But we'll be kind to myself and we'll say that there was a lot of open real estate. You could relate to Derek and how it felt to be smaller than people thought you ought to be. Your shortness seemed even more drastic when compared to Cove, who was unusually tall. Aw, that's... See, I really do like that about this game. They give you so many options, just like, about your character, about how you feel, about everything. Ah, it's so good. Hope your week is going good. Thank you, it is. I'm having a pretty good week. It's my last day off, unfortunately, so we'll have to go back to work tomorrow, but... C'est la vie. That is life. But, we're having fun today. Having a good time. We are going to be trying to find Jeremy on this stream, and then once we hear my gremlin voice, then we're gonna switch over to Hive Swap for a bit. But yes, for now. You liked your height, you weren't sure how to feel about it, you were kind of self-conscious over it. I wouldn't say I like my height, but I don't hate it. Sorry, the cat's jumping around. Things kept changing. With the height you actually had and what the impression of that height was based on your age. It was confusing. Then you put the finishing touches on your outfit while ruminating on the situation. Careless as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. Oh, hi again, mister. You just coming back to steal the show? Alright. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to, so this worked in your favor. Your reflection grinned back at you. You were looking forward to seeing him. Wow, we get it, you're Canadian, you don't need to speak French. Ew, Canada, boo. Hey man, Canada's good. You got done with work a few hours ago, you go back to work tomorrow? Oh, well I hope you are enjoying your day off. Thank you for spending some of that chilling here with me, I appreciate it. But to all you Canada naysayers, Canada's good. Y'all are just haters. I'm just kidding. Yeah, goddamn you Canadians and your high average standard of living and universal healthcare. Oh, you darn Canadians with your good life benefits. Oh, so horrible. You left your room, taking an easy time down the stairs. Ooh. Step 2. Second chance. Oh, that's like a dream role of mine someday in voiceover where I can be like the narrator in whatever, where you say the in-between stuff. Like I'm playing Fire Emblem Three Houses right now a lot, and hearing like the dude go like part 1, white clouds. Like I want to be that guy someday for something. I don't care what it is. Anything would be cool. Although your money does look stupid, so there's that. And your maple syrup. Hey man. The funny thing about our money, actually, because obviously our money is multicolored, our green bill is a 20. So anytime I'd watch like cartoons and stuff growing up, it always confused me why, from my perspective, all of the money that was always shown like in cartoons was $20 bills. I was like, why is it always $20? Why is it always green money? Not cluing in that, you know, American money is all green, which was why. Didn't click for me. You recently got done doing a video of Tokyo. Nice, that's awesome. Finishing projects is always a very nice feeling. Nah, maple syrup slaps. Queen also fuck maple syrup. I like maple syrup a lot. It's good, but I'll admit I'm kind of bigger on like the corn-based syrups just because like I like a thick syrup. You gotta like that like sticky good sweet syrup. Like I won't say no if somebody comes up to me and offers me some pancakes with maple syrup, but I'm a sacrilegious Canadian in that I prefer sugary thick syrups over runny maple syrup. Don't tell anyone that, otherwise I will lose my Canadian license. I can hear the Mounties banging on my door already, but hopefully I'll be able to finish the stream before they come and arrest me for crimes against Canada. He likes them thick. I like them chonky. Chonky. I like chonky syrup. That's a terrible description. I love maple syrup, especially when it's on waffles, pancakes, and French toast. Yummy. Oh, yes. I think maple syrup goes best on French toast. Like, of all the syrups to put on French toast, you gotta put maple syrup. Absolutely. It's so good. Okay, Moto. Yes, that was the reference I was making. Thank you, Alex. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands, which she was perusing through. Morning, Mom. She looked up at your greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Oh, look at her. She's so cute. Good morning, Lewis. Thank you for coming down. Ma's the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? Oh, we're gonna see the boy. You nodded and made your way to the front of the house. Just as she said, pardon me, Ma was there making conversation. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh?
Look who finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than average for an adult woman, so at your height, you were absolutely tiny in her eyes. You tilted your body aside to down. She pushed her hand back and laughed. Yeah, I pushed her hand back and laughed. Ma could be so ridiculous, you thought, but that was okay. Ah, you're the last one down today, you know that? Life isn't a race.
Funny.
Funny, I don't think that excuse will work if you're late for anyone other than your own mother, though. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Oh, it's Bagel. Oh, Bagel. Hello, hello. Can't wait for Bagel and Cal to fight. Listen, I don't know Bagel well enough to fight them. Not yet. In time. In time, we will build a repertoire. We will build a steady level of, you know, readiness to fight. And then over time, we will duke it out. You know, it's got to build up, though. Got to build it up. We'll get there. Be nice, Bagel. All right. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Cove was just as you remembered, exactly how you came to know him to be. Oh my god, this boy. Slide into my DMs, coward. I have memes. Send them to Alex, and then they can send them to me. All right. He leaned comfortably to the side in your doorway as his bushy hair covered part of his face. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be the much-talked-about gift. Oh, is that like a fruit bouquet? Those are so cute. At first glance, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers. Then you gave it a real look. No, instead it was carefully cut fruit. There's like a shop somewhere in Winnipeg that just specifically does fruit bouquets. I think that's kind of cool, but I do like flowers, so cool as that is, I would never want fruit bouquets to replace actual flowers. Alex is Cal's official meme liaison. What about puns? Puns are good. Puns and memes, all wonderful. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. Cat's just sitting behind me still. Cove smiled at the sight of you. The sting of this goofy errand he was clearly embarrassed to be on eased. Fun fact, I didn't think fruit bouquets were real until recently. Cliff Wood said a fucking edible arrangement. I know, fruit bouquets seems like such a bizarre concept. Like, I mean, I get it because, you know, bouquets of flowers aren't really functional and, like, they will die eventually. And there are some people who just genuinely don't like to have to take care of a bouquet of flowers. So, like, I can see why that would be popular, you know. You can eat it. But at the same time, like, I do like flowers. Flowers are good. My favorite flower, despite me knowing that it is a completely unnatural flower, is blue roses. They're so pretty. I know they don't actually grow and they're just dyed white roses, but they're really pretty. You smiled back. It was second nature to you. Cove had always been such a close friend, ever since the two of you were kids. Hey, it's nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Your grin widened even more. Every time he came, your mood was brightened. It was already shaping up to be another long summer with plenty of time for the two of you to have fun together. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. And with that, the gift was accepted. If it's okay, can I ask you a question? Yeah, of course, go ahead. Me seeing a bouquet of roses, dinner time, munch. Oh, jeez. Yes, any questions, ask away. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so, anyway. He smiled earnestly. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. You are too cute sometimes. No, just thank you. Could you tell your dad we loved the gift? Yeah. Mr. Holden's behavior was really was different from any neighbors you'd ever had, though after 5 years you were used to his antics, and you'd since made up your mind on what your opinion was. Oh, I get to choose my opinion on him? Oh, he was great and kind of handsome to boot. I don't have a crush on Cove, I just have a crush on his dad. That's so weird. Oh. Let's see. He was nice, he was sort of funny, he was pretty weird, you didn't like him, he was great. He was great and kind of handsome. He was nice. He's a nice man. Stacy's mom, but it's Cove's dad. You knew he wasn't completely perfect, but he always seemed to try so hard for the sake of others. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are! You shared a confused look with Cove. As one, both of you stepped through the open door onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. There's this anime known as The Great Pretender. I heard good things about this series in general, and some of the characters look really cool. In your opinion, have you watched the series? If yes, then how good is the series? I've not seen The Great Pretender, but I have heard about it recently. I feel like it is getting pretty popular. Unfortunately, yes, I myself have not watched it, but I definitely want to look into it because I've heard about it. Cove's dad is really kind of rad. Cove's dad is really kind of rad. Cove, can't you see? You're just not the one for me. You were just oh my god, I can choose whether or not I like Derek. Derek's cool. You were happy at the sight of him. Derek was certainly a welcome guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. I auditioned for Derek, actually. That was a fun audition. The VA who does play Kid Derek followed me. They seem cool. After stopping a couple steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin.
Hey.
Hey, my guys! I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. Should have figured you'd be at Lewis's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just there? Derek laughed at his own joke. He either didn't notice that it embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he was actually laughing at. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? You followed his gaze, unsure. Then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. This? It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made out of fruit.
Nice.
Nice! Can I have some? Derek is baby. He is. He's a good lad. Okay, I wasn't sure if you'd watched it or not. Thank you for your answer. I heard some of the actors I follow on Twitter voice some of the characters. Oh, yeah, I think that might be why I've been hearing about it then, because chances are I probably follow a lot of the people who are in it. It's been really cool seeing like a way more diverse cast of actors right now in a lot of games and anime that's coming out, because obviously remote recording has made it so that there's been a lot of dubs where I've seen like Canadian voice actors and like voice actors from like way away from Texas in the States doing dubbing, which I think is so awesome. And honestly, I really hope that is a trend that picks up, like more remote dubbing. It's been really nice just seeing a lot more like diversity in the casting pool, and just a lot of people who probably wouldn't have had the opportunity otherwise. But yeah. Sure, we can share. I like you, Derek. Derek grew more excited by your words, bouncing on the balls of his feet. Awesome! Then he nodded his head as if to clear it. Pardon me. I've heard about that too. I feel that it's very interesting to see that. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a couple of dubs that have been done remotely, and like it's absolutely phenomenal the work that folks have been able to do despite not being in person, like especially for dubbing, because you have to like specifically match so much stuff, right? But like the stuff that's been coming out has been absolutely fantastic. Like it's been really awesome to see. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, probably for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Oh no. Oh no, is it the lad? Are we about to meet Jeremy King? The Green Gremlin himself? Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nuh-uh. The new kid was all by himself, just walking. Did you talk to him?
Nope.
Nope. I came to report the sighting right away. The kid had... Oh my god, it is him. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Y'all get to hear me doing my Gremlin voice. I haven't listened to those files since I sent them off forever ago, so Oh god, I remember Jeremy's voice in this was hard to do though, because I had to pitch my voice up while still doing the sort of like low Jeremy voice. So it was hard to maintain it. I had to take breaks a few times while I was recording those lines. So we'll see how well it came through. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. You blinked. Slowly, you looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove. When you first got here, anyway. Oh no, are you guys gonna try and make friends with him? Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. All I could remember was you sending me the audio files of you attempting Gremlin. Oh yeah, because I sent you one of my bloopers, I think, right, Alex? Where I was like... I was trying to get the voice and I kept falling out of it. You did a fantastic job with it, Ima. Thank you. I appreciate that. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing at his lips. Cove, please don't get your hopes up. You're not going to like Jeremy. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well, now that you say so. But what do you say? Let's go find Cove's lookalike. We should all meet him.
Sure.
I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. No, you don't. Jeremy has one friend. He's a horse. Like, it was still clearly Jeremy, but you could definitely tell he was younger in this one. Good. That was what I was trying to get through with him. I don't know much about this game. Is this like a visual novel sort of game? Yeah, this is a really cool visual novel called Our Life by GB Patch. The premise of it is that it's like one of the most customizable visual novel / dating sims that I've ever seen before, where like you make every single finite choice and you decide how your character feels about the main love interest Cove. You decide how he looks and how he acts. Like it's a very comprehensive dating sim visual novel. It is really fascinating getting to play it, and I was in this game. I played the guy that these guys are about to go and meet, so we'll see how that goes. All right. Last I saw him, the mystery visitor was going this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off, with Derek leading the way. Oh boy, here we go. Derek brought you to the beach, and as a trio, you made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun. He scuffled around, kicking up the sand as he paced. It was true, he certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad like you had originally pictured. No, with his erratic movements and scrunched up expression, he came off angry. You started to have doubts about this expedition. Maybe it'd be better if you left him alone to let him sort himself out. Derek didn't feel the same way. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy, "Oh, this is a mistake. Hey, guy, over here!" The kid whipped around, an impressive scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong, hostile energy still radiated from him.
What?
What? What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. What's your name? Jeremy. Was that it?
No.
No, I'm Derek. That's Lewis and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, so, it's cool to see someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it! Jeremy cringe compilation. Oh, that's cool. I don't play a lot of visual novels. I mostly play some games that are different genres, like Tekken, and a few other games. Yeah. I normally don't even play visual novels that much myself, but I'm always down to play something that I have provided a voice for.
My parents.
My parents. They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own?
Right.
God, he's such a little crap. Right. My dad brings me to Sunset Bird too when he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not so bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation probably either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time. A chore. My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to see them. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too?
I guess.
He's so pissed. Oh, I love it. Oh my god. That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No! He's just so mad. He kind of looks like Weevil. Oh my god, he actually does look like Weevil. Just gotta get him the Exodia cards. He'd rip them up. He's angry enough to do it. Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves since they cared so much and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be by myself. It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid? Who peed in your cereal this morning? Oh my god. He wanted to stay in his basement like the gremlin he is. Accurate. Everyone should just leave poor baby Jeremy alone. I like that, like, if this is... I don't know how the continuity works for GB Patch. Like, I don't know if this is an alternate universe or if this actually does lead into XOXO droplets, but if it does, I like that Jeremy goes from aggressive, angry gremlin to really tired, depressed gremlin. Slowly over time. God, hearing you voice all of Jeremy's lines is surreal. I love it. Nope, shared universe. Oh my god, that's great. That's fantastic. So he really does just evolve from angry to giving up. He's so pissed. Why is he so angry? Hello, I'll see you. You do an awesome job voicing him. Thank you. He's angry because he's Jeremy. Jeremy's whole shtick is that the game that he comes from is all about a group of undateable jerks. So he's just a bit of an ass. But we love him. He's a good lad, deep down. Jeremy in the game he came from, XOXO Droplets, was actually my first ever paid role. My first ever real voice acting role at all. It was really cool, and it's been a big part of all of my voice acting stuff. Most of the initial friends I made, I all made through XOXO Droplets. So it's this character has a very big place in my heart. Jeremy is very important to me. This angry, depressed gremlin child, he really solidified for me that voiceover is something that I need to do, that it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life, and that no matter what, I will pursue to the end of my days, because it is just unbelievably fun for me to get to embody characters like him. So This game is very important to me. He goes back to angry as an adult, does he? That's fantastic. He becomes best boy in XOD. He's a good lad. Jeremy ever competed in a competition show? I feel like he'd be voted on for. Oh yeah, young Jeremy, not making any friends for himself. We met because of you voicing Jeremy. It's true. Me and Alex met because they made the GB Patch server, and one of their friends boldly invited me to join, and I was skeptical at first because I was like, I don't know anyone. I'm still like completely new online and I don't know anyone. Is this okay for me to do? Will people judge me? So I peeked in and I saw that one of the other voice actors had joined. So I was like, okay, then I guess I'll join. And God, however many years later now, like 3 years later or something, me and Alex are chums. We're pals. So a lot of things have happened to me because of Exo Droplets and then by extension Jeremy. So yeah, he means a lot to me as a character. I'm going to be a jerk to myself. I'm going to be a jerk to Jeremy, who peed in your cereal this morning. Jeremy's lips curled as his face contorted from anger to horror.
That's disgusting.
Oh my god, they picked all of my most aggressive takes. I love it. Because I usually would record like 3 takes and send them to them. So I would have ones that went from like annoyed, like, that's disgusting, to the most pissed off, that's disgusting. And they picked all of my angriest ones. That's great. I love this. Why would you think of something like that? It's disgusting.
Sheesh.
It's just an expression. He took a deep breath. You thought for one hopeful second that maybe he was calming himself down. He was not.
So what? You're putting it in people's heads. I don't want to have to think about it, and someone brainless might decide it's a good idea and actually do it.
Oh, Jeremy.
There are some real stupids out in the world, you know. You're all living proof of that.
He's such an asshole. Hey, we're not stupid. I'm smarter than you are. Shut up. Stop it. Oh god, do you know the other options to be mean to Jeremy later in this step? I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry. I don't know the other options to be mean to him. But I'm sure we will encounter them. Period. I'm smarter than you are.
How are you gonna prove that when you're just saying one moronic thing after another?
You turn to Cove, lowering your voice. The two of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing, though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed. Yeah, if you whisper something in front of someone, they're gonna know you're talking about them, guy.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Oh my god, hearing my own voice doing this is so bizarre.
Of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid.
I mean, I'm sorry, Cove, but he's right. Your eyebrows are kind of weird. Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger. Maybe both. Come on. No, Cove's baby eyebrows are so cool. We gonna simp? We gonna simp for Cove like Cove simps for us? I can actually say, well, they are kind of silly. Oh no. But I'm supposed to be friends with Cove. That's so mean. Oh no. Oh, do I try to be nice to Jeremy, or do I absolutely just flat out insult him? I do kind of want to bully him. It's because he's got my voice, and it makes me inherently want to bully him. Jeremy has so much beef with people with stupid eyebrows like Cove and Everett. Pick one. Oh yeah, he did insult Everett's eyebrows. That's right. I remember that. Jeremy is very picky about eyebrows, apparently. I want to see what he says if I insult his bowl cut.
Yep, it's embarrassing and awful, but my parents made me. I won't have to have it when I'm older. I'll have a cool middle part, or maybe I'll push my hair back. Maybe I'll wear little weird braids in it. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do with those things, except maybe shave them off. He probably should. I bet he'd look less dumb with no eyebrows.
You lunge towards Jeremy. Just tackle him. I don't want to simp for Cove, but I also do low-key want to tackle the gremlin. I'm just gonna grin at him because he's clearly just... He's just having some internal problems. He wasn't the nicest kid you'd ever met, but he certainly wasn't the dullest. He rejected your amusement by grimacing harder than ever. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's voice in a nasally in a nasally voice.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
Where?
Jeremy's a little piss boy. He is. He's just got so much hatred in that tiny little form of his. That line was my favorite one to record, though, because, like, the instructions were just, like, basically just be an asshole, be mocking, and be terrible.
Wow, what is wrong with you? This is dumb.
Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere he went. You watched him go, hunched over, until he became a speck in your vision. Silence reigned in his wake. The three of you tried to process what just happened.
I can't believe it. What a mean kid.
Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy, Jeremy, was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed, and Cove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do.
This sucks.
This sucks. I was hoping we could meet someone fun. Hang out, maybe.
He shook his head. Pardon me. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. I'm still sad we didn't get official art of Jeremy sticking his tongue out. That'd be great. It would be very on brand.
But you know what would really improve the day?
What? He didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point, right at the fruit arrangement that you were still holding. Why am I still holding it? You'd completely forgotten about it during the mini-drama that unfolded. You'd gotten used to the weight. Glancing over to Cove, you noticed he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. Why not? Let's eat. I really doubt my parents are going to be upsetty spaghetti if they don't get this stupid fruit basket. Well, anyways, I'm heading out. I'm going now. Oh, no worries at all. I hope you have a wonderful night as well. Thank you for stopping by. GB Patch handing you your lines. You have to make people want to fight you. Absolutely demolish you. Basically, Jeremy's whole shtick for this one was just be terrible. Just really be an asshole. Derek perked up immediately at your words. He reached out for a skewer, hesitating slightly once he was inches away.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You nodded. With an eager grin, he plucked out a primer row of fruits. Cove grabbed one for himself after him. Only you were without a skewer of your own. You took a... Oh no, I like all three of these. Grape skewer. There were 4 juicy grapes on a single skewer. It was the obvious first choice. Derek ate at a pineapple skewer enthusiastically, finishing it within moments.
This is amazing.
It's not different from any other normal fruit. It's kind of worse. These have been out in the open with their skins off for a while.
Sheesh. Hey, you two remember The Land Before Time?
Ugh, Derek, you just threw me into like 7,000 layers of nostalgia. Jeez. God, I'm not really an actor, but I did theater in high school, and asshole characters are the most fun to play. Oh, absolutely. Uh, every character actually that I played in theater in high school was either the villain or an oblivious asshole, which I had great fun doing. I still have the videos of both of them, or I definitely don't have the videos of both of them, and unfortunately cannot show those videos even if they existed, because it is illegal to record those things for some ungodly reason. So they're definitely not recorded, and I definitely don't have DVD recordings of me doing both of those plays. They don't exist legally. Jeremy thought his parents brought him to the circus because he took one look at Cove's eyebrows and your flower bouquet, and it was the only logical conclusion he could come to. Yes, accurate. Jeremy be here like, you're not just a clown, you're the whole goddamn circus.
This fruit thing makes me think of it. The dinosaurs all liked the leaves that were shaped like stars.
Tree stars.
Yeah.
Yep. Chomping leaves look so delicious when they did it.
Accurate. Fuck, Derek, you get it. You get it, Derek. You fucking get it.
And there was that scene with the pretty trees, and all the dinosaurs came in and picked everything off until there was nothing. That's us right now. Awesome.
Say big mommy milkers in Jeremy's voice. You have to pay me. Nah, I'll give you this one for free. I apologize in advance. Big mommy milkers. Terrible. I will pay you to not say that ever again. Good. Iconic. Oh, God. Oh, shit, no. Jeremy be on that king shit. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Me too.
The three of you continued like this for the next few minutes. Eventually, the display was barren. It looked weird when devoid of fruit. It did make you feel better. I'm gonna launch myself into the sun. Why? Do you have a problem with big mommy milkers? I'm sorry, I swear to God, I'll stop. I'm terrible today, wow, okay. Hey, Lewis.
Yeah?
The two of you met eyes casually, and heterosexually.
So...
That was pretty cool, what you said back at that guy. Oh, thanks. I was just saying what I thought. Don't apologize, they're just weak if they can't handle it. You guys just can't handle the truth of Jeremy.
You totally owned him.
I don't know what his parents say, but it's good at least somebody is around to tell him what's what. Yeah. Derek then leaned back in his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh.
So, are you both ready for summer break?
Yeah.
Cool on you. Wish I could say the same. It feels like there's a lot to plan for. And what about you, Cove? Are you ready?
I think that depends. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered.
Hey!
This is for you, Cal. The world must know your crimes. I'm gonna fight you. Oh, did you clip it? Thank God. I'll save that for later. I'll make sure to watch it after the stream. Hey, Lewis. You glanced over your shoulder to see your sister. She strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased.
I've been looking all over for you. Ma said you and Cove ran off with the thing Mr. Holden brought for us.
She leered over at you with arms folded. So, where is it? Well, it's gone.
What do you mean, gone?
You moved over to the side to face her completely. She zeroed in on the bouquet in your hands, which was now populated exclusively with skewers dripping in juice and tiny flecks of leftover fruit pieces. Her mouth dropped open. The tone of her voice rose.
What?
Seriously, Lewis, what were you thinking? It was supposed to be for all of us at home.
She glanced at Cove, who sat behind you, and continued mockingly. Even if you did have an in with the delivery boy, this was up to Mr. Holden. Cove gave you a bent smile of support, which didn't help disprove her accusation. It wasn't us. A seagull came down and ate it. I won't be too much of an ass. I'll just say we were hungry. Elizabeth narrowed her eyes, not at all okay with that kind of response. Oh no, I think I hear the mean kid coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked, confused, and looked around.
What?
What kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. He followed after Derek, but he sent a look to you from over his shoulder. You turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brows raised. You ran, of course. Without a word, you two got to your feet and bolted down the beach. Unimpressed, Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
So immature.
She shook her head as she walked toward the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumped his fist, grinning in triumph.
We escaped and shall live to see another day.
Victory! You threw your arms up in celebration. You chuckled together, walking further down the beach, side by side. Jeremy v. Lizzie battle. You just hear like the Pokemon music. And then I ran away immediately. Ooh, I hear an ambulance. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. You'd gotten a bit of a scolding from your moms for not saving any of Mr. Holden's gift for Elizabeth, but you didn't get any real punishment for it. Instead, while you were out with the boys, Elizabeth returned home to share the news. The three of them went to get dessert on their own. It was declared even by your parents when everyone got back and the event was settled. This was a while ago now. Ooh, a phone. Your fingers drummed over the surface as you waited. Your gaze trained on the phone. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin, Leandra. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your aunt, uncle, and Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. A while back, though, they'd moved and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. One second, I'm just gonna grab a tissue. Okay. My nose is a bit stuffy. I forgot to take my nasal spray. Good old dust mite allergies, am I right, gamers? I'm just saying maybe Everett was right all along. Kill Bill Cyrus blares every time he enters the I have an instant rage reaction every time I see Jeremy. Yeah, but that's just because you associate Jeremy with me, Alex. So you're obligated to kind of hate him just a bit. I feel you with the dust mites. I know, right? Ugh. Dust mites are the absolute worst. I found out I was allergic to them completely by accident because I went in for an allergy test unrelated. It was to try and figure out what there was a plant I was having an allergic reaction to out where I live. But we didn't figure out what the plant was. But they were like, hey, by the way, you're really allergic to dust mites. Just so you're aware. And I'm like, oh, is that why my nose has always been plugged permanently? They're like, uh-huh. Great. I'm so happy. That's really great. Dust mite allergies. What are you, some kind of weakling? A bit. With school being out, you're positive she's going to want to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Elizabeth too, but now that your sister had become allergic, as we're talking about allergies, to interacting with her own family, it tended to be just you and Lee who spent time together. She was your only friend who was a girl. But you had a lot of girlfriends. Yeah, Lewis is popular. Lewis has friends with a bunch of people. Even though you weren't a girl, you befriended them pretty well. You had a lot of non-girlfriends. Oh, wow, this is... Oh, God, it's so specific. I can never get over how specific this game is. So customizable. Bagel really wants you to fight her, I guess. LMAO. Also, hello, Jeremy's bastard goblin dumpster boy. This wonderful, top-quality good boy. It's character development. Beyond World Star. I told you. Our rivalry isn't there yet. We have to have proper character development before we can duke it out, okay? Gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna make Lewis super fucking popular. You also had a lot of non-girlfriends. For those in the chat who know Exo Droplets, but who don't know Lewis, you probably wouldn't. He started out as an OC of mine who was in... Like, he was an Exo Droplets OC. But he has since evolved into just my general favorite OC. He's a good lad. What kind of gender someone was didn't seem to make any difference in who you got along with. Then the shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. Lee, finally! I'm just gonna assume. Aw, she cute. I will slide into your DMs to start the rivalry myself, SMA. A proper... Hey, don't mention Homestuck here. Not yet. Later. I think after we get to the main part, I'll probably take a break from our life, and then we can Homestuck it up in here. All right. Who are you to say what Cal's quadrants are? My quadrants are undefined. Oh God, if anyone ever watches this VOD and they don't know Homestuck, I'm so sorry.
Hi, sorry about the wait, Lewis. It took forever to get the phone away from my mom.
That's okay. There was static on the end, as if Lee was shifting wherever she was.
So, can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Now we don't have to do any of that boring stuff. We get to hang out whenever we want. Speaking of hanging out...
Lee, can you wait a second? Let me just head to my room.
Oh, yeah.
Cold for mentioning Homestuck. It's only fitting since Jeremy has read it. That's right, he's one of the 2 canon people in XOD who have read Homestuck. Jeremy's such a nerd. You got up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless. Ooh, how many kids watching playing this game were like, what's a wired phone? Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which was why you'd been sat by its cradle waiting for Lee to call. Your mom's can be really unfair. You thought that made sense. You didn't like it, but it had to be that way. I'm gonna say Lewis wouldn't be that much of an asshole teenager. He's a good child. So we're gonna say that you thought that made sense. It was nice to keep everything in its proper place. But now that Lee had called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. You made your way up the stairs, smiling. Jeremy be like, I will bully you if you have terrible eyebrows, but also I read Homestuck. It's true. I wonder, because I think the canon is that like he's read Homestuck partially but doesn't keep up with it or something like that, so I wonder if this would have been the age when he was reading Homestuck. After you had arrived, you shut the bedroom door firmly behind you. You took a seat on your bed. All right, I'm here.
Cool. Hey, did you know the girl down the street from me has her own phone now? A cell phone. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything.
Wow, really? The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you.
Right? I wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone till I'm more grown up. I wish they'd change their minds. We could call each other every single day and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be?
Wouldn't I still be using a home phone? Rotary phone. Sorry, I forgot the word. Wait, your family still has a rotary phone? Like, as in one of the ones that you fucking rotate it and it like spins all the way back for each one? That's incredible. Oh, hell yeah, we can VC when we're playing Hive Swap, absolutely. Of course. I'll always VC on stream with you, Alex. Blech. Hair in my mouth. Alright, let's see. Really great. We could even stay up late talking about whatever we want. Lee sighed thoughtfully into the receiver.
At least they said I could have it someday. I can't wait.
She sighed dramatically.
I bet I'm not going to get one until I'm all the way in college.
Squeezing the phone between your shoulder and your ear, you puffed up your pillows and made yourself more comfy. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over, and you'd have to choose whether or not to go to college. Oh, thank you, game, for acknowledging that you don't have to go to college. Hell yeah, no college for this boy. We have other phones that are wireless hooked up to the same line. Oh, okay. That's neat. Rotary phone, oh man. Rotary phones. They're fun. Except if you have to call 911 because then it's 911. You don't simp for me. Too late, I'm already simping for you. Father of mine. School was such a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easily to you. You worked about as hard as most people. Let's see. This is the most accurate one to me personally, so you never tried much, but you still didn't do that bad. Coasting by had become routine for you. Teachers had warned you that you wouldn't be able to do that forever, but you figured it was enough for now. Oh, and teachers are lying. You absolutely can coast by. As long as you're getting, like, above 60%, you're fine. Even 60s aren't that bad. A 60 in Canada is like a fucking, what would that be? That's like a, 60 is like a C or something, I think. Because Canadian grading is a lot less harsh than American grading. Like an 80% is an A+. Or is an A, sorry. A 90% is an A+. 75% is a B+, 70 is a B. 65 is C+, and then 6, yeah, so 60% would be a C. So you're fine. If you're getting 60s, it's fine. You know, obviously, if you want to go to college or university, you should probably go for better grades, but I will be real with you, you don't need to. For some jobs, you do, but I don't. Oh my god, somebody new followed. Who was that? Let's see when it comes up on stream. Thank you for the follow, whomst ever that was. I hope I have it turned on the overlay. I do. Oh, Bagel, you weren't following me? I'm offended. But thank you. Spinda. Yeah, he's my favorite Pokemon. Of course I'm going to put Spinda as the alert. What do you think? That's in a really awkward place, but I don't have the patience to go and change that, so it's just going to be there if anyone else follows. Shouts out to anyone who recognizes where that sound effect is from, although I really doubt anybody will. I went through a great ordeal to get that sound effect there. You felt a lot of pressure to get higher grades. You hope to do just as well this year, but it wouldn't be a big deal if it dropped some. You were confident your grades would remain great. You had no plans on getting excellent scores. Yeah, we'll be chill about it. Grades weren't the most important thing, no matter how good or bad they ended up being. Yeah. You tried to sound engaged, but your mind had decided to go back to school despite the season. Lee knew you too well to be fooled.
What's up?
Damn it, I'm exposed. You, in front of the whole stream, exposed for not following me. I am hurt, deeply and personally. I'm pretty sure it's from a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. I want to say Explorers. Not quite, not quite. It is. You are correct that it is a DS game, though. So you did identify the sound font there. It is an obscure as hell game. I really doubt anyone will recognize it. I actually, I don't know why I did this, but I have all my alerts set up to be sound effects from that game. Although, let's be real, I'm never going to get an alert for anything other than a follow, because nobody is going to host, raid, donate, or give me bits, like, obviously. But, I still set them anyways, just for fun. To be fair, I didn't know you had a Twitch. To be fair to you as well, I haven't been streaming, like, at all ever until very recently. I've streamed, I want to say, like, 3 times before this, and they were all very much experimental, shitty little streams where I was just one-off doing something for fun. This is definitely the first time I'm actually, like, well, this is the first time I've streamed twice in the same month, let alone weeks back to back, so it's impressive. I'm actually, my current challenge to myself right now, I haven't, like, said it publicly, but my, my current plan is to try and stream like this every Saturday, at the same time, like, starting at, like, 11 p.m. We'll see how consistent I am with that, but, I mean, hey, I've done it for 2 weeks in a row so far. That's more than I've ever done, that's more than I've ever done before, so, yeah, that's the plan going forward. I remember we streamed Monster Prom together. We did, that's right. Very long time ago we did. Just thinking about school. Lee groaned. Are you thinking about what we don't have to think about because it's summer? That's what I'm doing. Are you thinking about... Oh, are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing. Yeah, let's make a petition for more vacation time. Yeah, everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers, too. Oh, heck yeah. I'll be here to collect clips of you saying cursed things. Great, awesome. I'm glad that it will be chronicled. Though I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. You can just do more when school's out. Learning new things can be cool. Gym is pretty great, though. I was not a fan of gym when I was in school. Looking back, that was probably bad, but, you know. Learning things can be cool. I just wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some people.
Me too.
Me too. It's the easiest way to hang out with people in the neighborhood. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody new. No one really comes here. Uh-huh. But that was all. And that's pretty much everything that's good about school. Okay, point taken.
All right.
Now, I decree the topic of school is officially closed. We have to talk about this summer first before we start plotting the rest of our lives. I've got some plans already. Oh, tell me. I'm gonna visit my cousins. You chuckled, of course. What's something you want to do? The first thing that comes to your head. I wanna... I got some new art supplies. I can't wait to try them out. I can't wait to see what you make. You lean back in your bed, settling in as you continue chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been that long since you saw her and you'd be seeing her soon, you found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day. You sat up straighter. I was with Cove and Derek today. We met a new kid. Like at your neighborhood? Mm-hmm. His parents are visiting family, so it sounds like he'll be around for a little while. I don't know how long. I will be here to cyberbully you the moment he opens his mouth as cursed. Wow, I'm so glad I have one person in this chat who's nice to me and 2 people who are just actively bullying me. It's okay. I appreciate it. Like 60% of why I hated gym class was because being trans, yeah, and having to change in front of people, though I didn't realize at the time. I just knew it sucked. Honestly, yeah. I feel that big time. I inevitably started changing. Like there was a bathroom stall in the change room, so I would just start going in there, and I never really said anything about it.
It was even before I had clued in on the fact that I was trans. And thankfully, once I hit high school, our gym is very much like you doing your own thing for a lot of it. So once I started transitioning, I never actually had to even have a discussion about which locker room I was in. I just wouldn't even bother going into either of them anymore. So that was cool. You'd cry if I was only nice to you. You'd be so scared. Oh God, I would be. You used to be so nice to me when we first met, Alex. You were like, oh, my son, I love you so much. And then we got to know each other and you were like, wow, stupid. I hate you. It's how I know that you care. What was he like? Kind of interesting. He kept snapping at us when all we were trying to do was talk to him. I've never talked to someone who spoke like him. I don't think I want to meet him. You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with the boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around until they started to annoy her. Who are you to talk? Cove and Derek are always around. They're both boys, you know. That's not the same. They're not always around. I'm the one who invites them. They show up on their own. You weren't able to say anything to that. They're not always around, Baka. Lee laughed at your denial, deeply amused. Even though she couldn't see, you shook your head at her, grinning to yourself. There was a stomping noise approaching your room, heralding the arrival of your irritated older sister. She flung the door open, a frown etched on her face.
Come on.
How long are you gonna hog the phone? Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. Elizabeth held out her hand, the other one lodged on her hip. She noticed the realization on your face. Time's up. No, get out of my room. I hope that someday Alex and I will get to the point where they'll call me a dumbass and tell me to get hit by a bus. It's a true badge of honor when Alex finally hates you. Although there are some people who we've known for equally as long that Alex is so nice to. So deep down I do have to wonder if it is just a little bit of actual hatred. I'm kidding. Lee wants you to yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta go. I'll see you soon, okay? Okay, see you. Tell Elizabeth and your moms I said hi too. You barely pressed the end call button when Elizabeth whisked the handset from your fingers and began dialing someone new as she strode out of the room. Your mom's voice called from downstairs. Hey, has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. With that, she shut your door behind you. Silence was left in the wake. That was one way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it had gotten dark outside, and you laid in bed wide awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched, staring over at it with furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you saw only the moon and an open sky. Please tell me that Cove is throwing rocks at my window like some kind of freak. You were curious. What had caused that noise? Cocking your head, you sat up and moved closer to the window. You wanted to get to the bottom of this. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? You squinted. Yep, Cove was right outside your window. My window looks as though I'm like on the second floor of the house, but I have to assume that I'm not. Oh gosh, I've gotten behind on chat. Let's see. I'm not as nice as you. It's not as nice as you think. I yearn for it. So really the meanest thing that Alex can do is not be mean to me. Alex, you really do love me. I pretend I do not see. It's okay. I have to assume that this house is not on my room is not on the second floor like I assumed it was. Stuck out further than others, so theoretically it would... Oh no, wait. Maybe it is, and he's just being a monkey child and climbing around the house. Still, just because somebody could didn't mean you expected it to ever happen. I don't think we're at crush status because I hadn't set him to crush. Because I have him set to just friendly. To his credit, Cove was doing fine. His feet were braced against a section of the wall that jutted out, his arms flexing with the effort to keep him upright. Okay, Cove, you don't have to flex on me, Jesus. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. You hurriedly opened the window. Cove climbed over the ledge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside.
Hey.
He is cute. Cove is cute. No, never mind, I'm a clown. It's okay, it's okay. No, he sneaks into your room with fondness, too. Yeah, probably not with indifference. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that somebody who's you're indifferent to probably wouldn't be sneaking into your bedroom, but I mean, you never know. Hi, Lewis. What's up, Romeo? You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Is everything okay? What happened? One of the top two. What are you doing, or what's up, Romeo? I'm going to go with what's up, Romeo. I needed to talk to you and couldn't wait until tomorrow. If I rang the doorbell, I know your moms would have answered and they'd just make me go home. I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Well, besides with you, I mean. But that's why I did that. As unexpected as this was, you were touched. Cove felt like he could tell you what was wrong. Be safe, don't fall in. I might have tried calling or something, except my dad was on the phone. Cove suddenly looked very cross. Dad, he was talking to my mom. Still is, probably. You raised your eyebrows. Cove had eavesdrops on his parents' phone conversation? You shouldn't have done that. Eavesdropping is bad. You didn't comment on him eavesdropping. There were other things to talk about. Are you gonna stay with your mom for a while again? Every year, Cove went off to live with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened varied. Sometimes he would go during winter break, but usually he went during summer. Even though it was hard news when you found out he was leaving and you missed seeing him those weeks, you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. That's what I thought too, but no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said she could come stay with us here. You waited for him to continue. He didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. You couldn't help but stare at Cove. There was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. What did your mom say? She told him she'd come. I know she's coming soon, before school starts. Oh. You had heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. He'd tell you about past memories or what happened while he was visiting her. Still, it was one thing to hear about someone and another to actually meet them. Very soon, you were going to see Cove's mom in person. You were taken aback by the news, so you could only imagine how Cove felt. You looked over at him. He was pacing across your room, his features pained with dread. Before, they'd barely stay in the same room long enough to have lunch. Now we're gonna be all together again. The three of us after all this time? Just for a few weeks. I know I should probably be happy they can talk to each other now, but I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out, and now I feel really bad for feeling this way. Lewis, it's so... Aw, don't cry, bud. His fist tightened and his eyes became misty. I shouldn't keep getting like this. It's been a long time already, and I'm not a little kid. Though he wouldn't meet your eyes, you knew he was waiting for you to say something. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad. It is hard to deal with. The tense line of Cove's shoulders eased. Thanks. That makes me feel a little better. Like I'm not freaking out for no reason. A momentary silence fell over the two of you. You marveled at how the day started. You'd woken up eager for summer vacation, but now things seemed so crazy. A mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude, and as if all that wasn't enough, now Cove's mom would be living with Cove and his dad again. Your whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard and different. Why couldn't things just get better with time? Lewis? The sound of your name, said quietly, pulled you from your thoughts. Cove gazed at you, concerned.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know. Who, me? I'm more worried about you. Wow, things are kind of bad for everyone, huh? I'd go with I don't know or who, me? I'm more worried about you. I don't know. I get it. At least I think I do. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small and delicate, but you knew it was genuine. He had come here, conflicted and upset, only to end up worrying about you. He really was a great friend. You know, I think I don't want to talk anymore about this. He looked away, his lips thinning into a line, and rubbed at his arms. But I kind of don't want to go back home either. Could I stay a little longer, just doing something else? He appeared equal parts hopeful and vulnerable. How could you possibly turn him away? Of course, you can always stay here, Cove. You held his gaze confidently, hoping your words got across to him. Cove perked up at your response, a smile appearing on his face. He immediately took a seat on your bed, not afraid to get comfortable in your room. You felt a little better at the sight somehow. You still had a lot of worries, but you were glad he was here. And not just tonight, you were glad he came into your life in the first place. That was a change you'd never want to undo. It felt totally natural to let him into your little world. That initial friendship had deepened so much over these past years, and you were certain there was room to get even closer. Whoa, that's a bit close there, buddy. I told you, we're heterosexual. Definitely. Me being like, I don't think I'll go for the crush route with Cove. Me being like, now, Game is very good at making me care about this boy. You joined Cove on your bed, taking a seat across from him. He smiled at you again, but you could tell this time it was half-hearted. He was still easy to read. Though he didn't want to talk about his mom and dad, he must be thinking about what happened and what's about to happen. Oh, these are all so cute. Stop giving me cute options. This is illegal. I'm not gonna smile at him. Putting a hand on his shoulder is dumb. Patting his back, silly. I'm either gonna hug him, take his hand, or nudge him. Also, you, can you change your feelings from nervous indifference to something else? Hey man, listen. I told you, I can read, but I don't have reading comprehension, okay? It's not my fault. Cal, two bros chilling in a bedroom 5 feet apart because they're not gay. Lewis and Cove right now. Okay, do we hug him, do we take his hand, or do we nudge him? I'm gonna... Well, honestly, it's funny because usually you think that hugging is more intimate, but I feel like hand-holding in this situation is a lot more gay. I'm gonna say we took his hand because that's gay and cute. You stretched your short arm out and... Oh my god, stop. I'm a little bit mad that I picked short because now the game's gonna be calling me out constantly. And gently held his hand. It wasn't much, but you hoped the contact helped even a little. Cove blinked, startled, before his expression softened into something more natural. Conversation was stilted and broken often by silence at first. Then both of you were able to get into your usual candor. As your secret hangout session stretched on, you thought that you truly wanted to keep having moments like this with him. You hoped a day would never come when life decided that the two of you would have to part ways, and you knew Cove felt the same. You opened your tired eyes, groaning as they adjusted to the bright light that was streaming through your window and warming your olive skin. With a loud yawn, you rolled away from the sunlight and blinked a couple of times, clearing the sleep from your eyes before realizing with a start that it was actually morning. You couldn't remember even falling asleep. Cove had crept through your window during the night, and the two of you had spent time together, trying not to wake your parents. You must have fallen asleep when you were hanging out, but couldn't put a finger on exactly when. You wonder how late Cove had stayed before heading home. You wondered if Cove had watched you while you slept. The homoerotic subtext is becoming text. Just a little bit, little by little. You rubbed your face and yawned again, contemplating whether you should get out of bed and get ready for the day or stay snuggled up for a little while longer. until your gaze landed on an instantly recognizable mop of pale green hair, and you bolted upright and gasped in surprise. Oh no, he stayed the night. He never left. He was still there in the morning. You laughed out loud. He had fallen asleep while sitting on the ground and precariously leaning his head on the side of your mattress. With your laugh, Ko's eyes snapped open and his head slipped from its support, from his source of support. He didn't stop going down until he smacked right into the floor with a crack. You clamped a hand over your mouth and looked down at him with wide eyes, curled up where he had landed rather ungracefully.
Aww.
Ow. Are you okay? You winced at his tumble, hoping no one else in the house had heard either of your outbursts. Yeah, I'm alright. Cove rubbed at his forehead a little, and you weren't sure that was entirely true. If either of your moms found out Cove had slept here last night, the two of you would be in big trouble. Wait, is he Edward Cullen? Oh my god, sneaking into my bedroom in the middle of the night. Speaking of which, I always forget that in Twilight, Bella was a high school student. Like... What? Yeah. Like, as a kid, you don't think of it right. You're like, oh yeah, high school student, that means adult. But as an adult, you're like, that's fucking weird as fuck. You're back with leftover turkey. Hell yeah, you missed a bunch of homoerotic subtext. And us contemplating whether Cove is Edward Cullen. Yeah. Cove blinked at you a couple of times, his eyes growing in panic as some thought that only he could hear settled in his mind.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, I fell asleep! You weren't exactly sure what to do as you watched Cove pace your room, looking around frantically. Cove stopped mid-step and you wanted to ask what he had been searching for, but you guessed he wouldn't know the answer to that himself. Despite that, he hadn't calmed down completely. The atmosphere was still frazzled. It's going to be alright. You just need to leave before anyone notices you're here. If they knew, we would have heard about it already. Cove nodded, his shoulders tensed as he fixed you with a firm stare. With his turquoise eyes. Letting out a heavy sigh, he ran a hand through his hair in exasperation. He couldn't look at you again as he spoke. I'll see you later. You were confused by how all of this had played out, but hoped that was true. Right. Bye, Cove. At that, you were suddenly wrapped up in a tense embrace. Aww! As panicked as he was, this seemed to be something he couldn't forget before leaving. Thanks. Again. You're a good friend, Lewis. He firmly whispered the words into the top of your shoulder. It's so gay. But you were let go before you had a chance to respond or even fully react. In a matter of seconds, he had climbed over your bed and opened the window. A cool breeze rolled off the ocean, fluttering through Cove's hair and filling your room with its salty scent. Cove fearlessly stepped out onto the ledge. You wished him luck. Good luck. Be super careful. You weren't sure if he heard you or not, but he kept going along, one foot in front of the other with increasing speed until his form disappeared out of sight. You stuck your head out the window as far as it could go to try and keep watching. He walked the full length of the ledge before jumping down to the top of the garage, then lowering himself onto the fence. From there, he finally dropped down to the ground. Okay, so he did just straight up monkey climb his way up to my window. You threw out a thumbs up at his successful climb. He ran off towards his house without stopping, disappearing behind the side of another building. You had to admit that you were pretty impressed at how doable he made that look. We were out of gravy, so I'm putting barbecue sauce on it because this is America and we have a little goddamn thing called freedom. Hell yeah, that's the spirit. Put that sauce on that turkey. Lewis, I know what you are. Say it. Out loud. Say it. Mermaid. Go face plants into your backyard ASMR. With a little sigh, you reclosed your window, deciding there was nothing more you could do. You hopped off your bed and got ready to head downstairs for the day. You put on your slippers, you checked yourself in the mirror, you made your bed, you just love it. You checked yourself in the mirror. You certainly looked like you had just woken up with your pink hair sticking up all over the place. Taking a comb from your bedside table, you attempted to fix and smooth down some of the messy strands. If anyone's ever seen Lewis's hair, that is impossible. His hair is just a floofy mess. You took the stairs, slowly attempting to mask your face into a look of innocence. You were sure that someone would have come into your room if they had heard anything strange, but you couldn't be too careful. You had to play it cool. When you stepped into the living room, Elizabeth was there tapping her finger on the counter. "Good morning, Elizabeth." She looked you over immediately, her eyes squinting at the greeting.
Why?
"Why are you being so weird? You hadn't even done anything. Your big sister never missed a beat, unfortunately." You turned and offered a tight smile, and her lips pursed together even tighter. "Lewis?" "Wouldn't you like to know?" I don't know. I feel like I haven't been good enough to her that she'll like back me up and not tell my parents about it, but you shrugged it off. "I'm not." You spoke so nonchalantly you almost thought she believed you, but you knew better. Further suspicions squinting occurred as she waited for something. But ultimately she rolled her eyes and you weren't sure if you were in trouble or not. She didn't seem to care enough to dig any further. "Whatever." "Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?" And then she walked straight out the front door, letting it slam shut behind her, and you let out a brief sigh. Elizabeth went out most days to hang out with her friends from school around town. Today, you were extra glad for it, though you were also grateful she hadn't left the house any sooner and risked running into Cove. It looked like you were getting away with that. Breakfast was eaten in peace and alone. Your moms were both out by the time you had gotten up. They had left you a serving of food from the breakfast they made. Hash browns, an omelet, fruit salad, and there were a few sausage links. Heh. Sausage. Took a bit of everything. You passed on some parts because they weren't your things you liked. Passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid meat. You passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid animal products. Aw, that's nice that they let you pick that. I'm a picky little bitch, so it's you passed on some things because they weren't things you liked. You appreciated there was a variety in the meals your moms made. The parts you did have were tasty. The day lazily drifted by. Twins, same brain, singular brain cell. Because you all both said the same thing. You pulled open the fridge again, lingering in the frosty air for a moment or two before grabbing a bottle of ice-cold water and taking a long drink. It was a perfect, balmy summer afternoon, and you decided to head outdoors and find something to do. That's a good word, balmy. You hadn't decided what that something was just yet, but you were sure something would pop up to occupy your time. Oh my god, how long is this intro bit? I figured we were going to be at the part where we were picking things already, but whatever. As you were heading out the front door, you paused for a moment. You hadn't seen Cove since he left that morning, and you couldn't help but think about what had happened to him. Would it be bad to go over to his house right now, or to call him to check in? You stepped out of your house, still caught in an internal debate with yourself, when a voice caught your attention.
Hi.
Mystery person. "Hi, Lewis." Confused, you looked over to where an unrecognizable woman was waving at you, a friendly smile plastered on her face. You racked your memory for where you might have seen her before, but nothing came to mind. Not your school or the country club where your moms took you to. You had absolutely no idea who this woman was. It's gonna be Cove's mom, isn't it? The woman crossed the road towards you, and you were a little unsure whether you should stay put or go back into the house and lock the door. Wow, it's the same thing that happened with Cove's dad. Ah, yes, there she is. Oh my god, she looks like she's gonna murder me with those eyebrows. I'm kidding. "Oops, I'm sorry, was that presumptuous? I've heard about you, but you have no idea who I am, do you?" Her. MILF. I knew everyone was gonna freak out. Thirst for Cove's mom. You shook your head and she removed her sunglasses to reveal sparkly ocean blue eyes. All of a sudden, she seemed a lot more familiar. "My son lives here, and my ex too." With a bent smile, she lifted a hand to point at the condo across the street from your own house. She was Cove's mom. You didn't know why you hadn't realized sooner now that you'd gotten a good look at her. She looked really young. She felt so different to Cove. She was super pretty. No, I'm not gonna feed your thirsty chat ass. All y'all in chat thirsting so hard for her. Oh no, I'm out of water. Well, shit. I'm gonna say she felt so different from Cove. In the little time you'd been around her, she'd given off a totally different impression than Cove did. No matter your thoughts on her, you still felt taken aback that she had appeared here so suddenly. Cove mentioned she was coming, but you hadn't got the impression it would be the very next day. She extended a hand again, this time for you to take, and you studied the manicured fingers in front of your face and the assortment of bracelets that dangled from her wrist.
I'm Kyra Priest. You can call me Kyra.
Yeah, I shake her hand. I'm not an asshole. You reached out and took her hand, and she shook yours firmly, grinning wide. I'm Lewis, but you already knew that.
That I do.
Cove's mentioned you to me before. It's nice to officially meet you, Lewis. Cove talked to you about his mom. He hadn't mentioned how he had said things about you to her. Yeah, I'm gonna ask, what has Cove said about me? Oh, I can't tell you that. I've already said too much. Damn it. Big mommy milkers intensifies. She laughed good-naturedly. You couldn't be happy about that answer, though. The sound of a door opening and closing caught both of your attentions. When you turned toward the sound, it was to find Cove exiting his house, his eyes skimming the ground. Considering how tall he had grown, you kind of figured his mom also would have been tall, but she was much more on the short side for an adult anyway. Cove's height must have come from his father.
My baby.
There you are! I thought you were going to keep me standing out here all day! You tried to catch Cove's eye as he walked towards you, but his gaze was firmly fixed on the sidewalk. When he finally crossed the road and looked up, he gave you a pitiful look. After the way he had acted last night, you know he must be feeling pretty mixed up about this. You tried to wordlessly express that you understood. Just sim things. Cove is 13. Why is he so buff? Yeah, right? To be fair, though, I do know kids who are just, like, naturally have muscle like that. One of my stepbrothers, the only one that I actually care about, the kid's fucking ripped for some reason. Like, he just... Well, I mean, I know the reason now is because he works out a lot, but, like, even when he was younger, he's always just been, like, a strong-built kid. Like, some kids are just built like that. I am not built like that naturally. Unfortunately. Cove and I are heading into town to grab something to eat while the snore is at work. Wow. Kyra beamed at Cove and ruffled his hair, which only seemed to upset him more. You assumed the snore she was talking about was Mr. Holden. Hey, you should come with us, Lewis. I'd love to get to know you better. Yeah, you should come. There was a pleading in his tone that you couldn't miss. Of course, we'll run it by your parents first, responsibility and all that. You don't exactly give off responsibility vibes, my girl. So basically, some people are built different. Tiffany's when you see a fucking middle schooler who looks like a goddamn middle-aged man. Like it's fucking JoJo or some shit. He is pretty fucking buff. He did, like, honestly, Derek looks 13 and Jeremy looks 13. Cove does not look 13, though it might just be because he's so fucking tall. If I don't water on my 13-year-old brother's head, will he be buff too? It's possible. Yeah, it's entirely possible. You won't know until you try. So, oh, God. I do want to say this background upsets me very mildly because that garage door is in a slant and there's no driveway going into it, and it is bothering me now that I have seen it. TBH, Derek looks like he's 8. Listen, I used to look like I was 8 when I was like 13 because I was short and had a round baby face. Not that I don't still have a round ass face.
Any whoosies.
It'll give me an excuse to meet them, which I need to do at some point. It's important to be neighborly if I'm going to be roosting on this street for the time being. Any whoosies, let's go. Kyra walked ahead towards your house, and you hung back with Cove, who crinkled his nose as he watched her.
Sorry.
I'm sorry about her, but I really do want you to come. I don't want it to be just the two of us. Not right now. You leaned in closer and whispered while checking around for anyone who might hear. What happened? Did your dad know you were gone? Cove shook his head and sighed heavily. Dad was so focused on Mom showing up that he didn't even notice. I thought when I heard them on the phone last night that it was something they were planning for the future. This morning, Dad said it was supposed to be a surprise, and I guess I was surprised. She's gonna be here all summer.
Oh. You were surprised to hear that, too. Cove sighed again, even heavier. I'll go with you if you really want me to. He smiled, his shoulders relaxing a little in relief. Thanks, that'd be cool. The two of you headed over to where Cove's mom had just knocked on your front door and stood behind her. Mom answered the door after a minute, her eyebrows lifting in surprise at the group she found in front of her. You realized that, like you, she would have no idea that it was Cove's mom who was hanging with you. However, after blinking at the woman a couple of times and looking between her and Cove, the realization seemed to strike on her. Hello there, I'm Pamela.
I see.
I see you've met my kid, Lewis, and I'm guessing you've already known Cove for a while. Kyra laughed, and you and Cove exchanged a look at your parents' weird sense of humor. I'm Kyra Price. Oops, the Price slipped out there. Cove's mom. It's so nice to meet you. Oh god, have you seen adult Derek? I think once I've seen adult Derek in some of the art. A head of purple-brown hair caught your eye as Ma popped up behind Mom, squeezing herself in beside her. We have company. I was wondering what all the commotion was. She grinned excitedly at Kyra. The two of them introduced themselves and shook hands. Hi, Lewis, Cove. Cove smiled at Ma shyly, and she gestured a hand toward the living room. There's no use hanging around in the doorway. Why don't you come in? I'd love to, but I promised to take my son out to eat, and I wouldn't want to hold you up with a surprise visit. Oh, I understand. You're welcome to stop by any time.
Of course.
I'll take you up on the offer when I can. Count on it. Would you mind too if Lewis went with Cove and I? My treat. We won't be driving, just a quick walk down the road. Sure, that sounds nice.
Have fun.
I hope you all have fun. You gave your moms a look and they smiled at you fondly. You were happy they were letting you go. Adult Derek is fucking stacked. Yeah, I do remember that. I forgot how long this part is. Jesus, I know. I was like expecting it to be done by now. I'll try and blaze through it though. You could tell that Cove really needed the support, and you were ready to be there for him.
Marvelous.
Naruto, we look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Your parents waved goodbye to the three of you as you backed up onto the street. There was the sound of the front door closing behind you. I'm pretty positive I saw some restaurants when I was in the taxi not too far from here. Yeah, it's a tourist town, isn't it? There's a lot of them around. It was kind of strange to see Cove give someone this much attitude. If he wasn't in the mood to be nice, he generally just kept to himself. Kyra put her hands on her hips and smiled at her son. Well, you sound like an area expert. Do you have any recommendations for a place nearby? Not really. Kyra pouted at him a little and turned to you instead. How about you, Lewis? Want to point me in the right direction? I shrug. You've been to a lot of places in town, but none of them really stood out. Well, let's head into town and see what we can find. Will you show us the way? You nodded, taking the lead of your little group as Cove and his mom followed behind you. Together, the three of you left the neighborhood behind. Derek is himbo supreme. You walked around for a little while, looking at the different options and gazing into the various shop windows. Most of the restaurants you passed were filled with guests already, sampling the town's various food places. When you headed past a familiar place with gold writing on the glass and a red, lacquered roof that you always admired, you started to slow down. My family comes here all the time. It's really good.
Come on.
I think we have a winner. I've always loved Chinese food. Let's head on in. The restaurant was busy as usual. Oh man, this looks exactly just like a diner that you've been to. Wow, that's really accurate. But luckily you were shown right to a small table. The three love interests in this game span the full spectrum of twink, twunk, and hunk. That's accurate from what I've seen of the other two. Yeah. Kyra lowered herself into the chair while Cove picked the one diagonal to her, not facing her or to her side. It was awkward. Let's see. To start, what would you all like to drink? I'll get an orange soda.
Noted.
Lewis? Just water, milk, juice, soda. Which flavor? What, no off-brand Dr. Pepper? Ugh. Give me that ginger ale. Sure. She placed the order for your drinks, taking a black hot coffee for herself, and it didn't take long before they were brought to the table and set in front of you. You took a long sip of your drink as you looked around the restaurant. Your small group checked over the menus and you decided to order the usual thing. You've been to this restaurant many times, so you knew what was good and what wasn't already. Never mention Baxter in my presence again. I think Baxter's pretty cute. Just saying. Oh god, you just had a cursed thought. What's your cursed thought? Kyra and Cove didn't need any encouragement for this. They were totally focused on the information in front of them. Soon, the meals, too, were ordered and the menus taken away. You glanced at the table service, waiting to figure out what to say. Cove sunk further back into his seat and avoided eye contact. He started to twiddle his thumbs while acting like this was all perfectly normal. His sour feelings today were unignorable. Instead of asking more about questions he'd brush off, Kyra had mercy on her son and instead put her focus towards you. So, Lewis, what's a few things you're into? There's got to be something you do for fun, especially now that you're not buried in school assignments. Oh god, it's too many choices. I'm really into Cove. That's so fucking stupid. Baxter's voice makes him cursed. Oh, I don't know who they got to voice him. I had also auditioned for Baxter, which was a really fun one. I liked doing Baxter's, I think, the most of the folks I auditioned for our life. I'm not terribly surprised that I didn't get any other role, because it would be very awkward to hear me voice anyone else other than Jeremy, but also the folks they picked have been very talented. Not at all surprising. No, I go to the beach and no. Games are fun. I write things. I spend time on art. Well, I've already established that I have art supplies, so I'm just gonna make Lewis an art nerd right now. Drawing. I create digitally. Yeah, I create digitally. Drawing. I filled out a lot of sketchbooks. I create digitally. My computer at home doesn't really have all the programs I need. And I go to the beach and look for seashells. I keep the best ones I find for my collection. I'm sure it's an incredible collection. Swim. You must be a strong swimmer since you live so close to the ocean. I find the water a little scary, but I still like to dip my toes sometimes. And you didn't say anything else. Worst MC ever, looking directly at Kyra and saying, "Milk, freshly squeezed." Oh, it's terrible. If only there was a klepto option. LMAO. Lewis can't live out his true self. It's true. Lewis be like, I like to steal things from other people. Not that that's something I do often. I just like to borrow things. Oh, Lewis. Yes, Lewis is an artist of thievery. Exactly. Lewis would probably have like so many of Cove's things in his room. Like Cove would have to come over constantly because he'd be constantly having to take his things back from Lewis. Thanks, I'm happy to learn more about you. There's so much I hadn't heard. Cove leaves the details out. He was trying not to pay attention, but you could tell he was uncomfortable. Hoping it would clear some of the tension in the air, you decided to ask Kyra a few questions of your own. Cove hadn't told you much about her, and you were curious to know more about this woman who was such a big part of his life. What exactly do you do for work? I'm a travel writer for magazines and things. I keep people in the loop on what's worth seeing. It's good work. Wow. What do you like to do? What do you live normally? Are you in a new relationship now? How did you... Yeah, I'm not going to bring up those two because Cove will probably be upset. What do you like to do? Spend time with my little boy, of course. And traveling. Real shock, huh? Where do you live normally? Nevada. Have you ever been there? You shook your head. It's a beautiful place. Check it out if you can. No other questions. It didn't seem to bother her that the conversation had dropped off. Cove sipped his soda angrily, slurping up the remaining drink with furrowed brows. He looked ready to run straight out of the restaurant. You weren't sure if coming along had ended up making the lunch better or worse. I made a dumb face at him. You stared at Cove until he glanced at you in annoyance, and then you lifted your nose with a finger and poked out your tongue. It took a couple of moments, but finally he cracked a smile that made you feel a little lighter inside.
Very cute.
You two seem really cute together. Cove covered his face with his hands and leaned back in his seat.
Seriously?
Mom, we're heterosexual! Leave us alone! Oh no, what is this link? Why'd you get divorced, woman I just met? Lewis to Kyra after knowing her for 10 minutes.
I want to steal. Accurate. So goddamn accurate. You felt bothered too. You blushed. Thanks, we are cute. You just laughed. Thanks, we are cute. Confident in my heterosexuality. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like that confident. Thanks, we are cute. Very. Your meals were delivered shortly after that, and everything was so delicious. Even Cove enjoyed his food. All right, now that we're all full and content, can you explain, please, why you've had a bug up your butt all day? Cove's face scrunched at that. Seriously, baby, what did Mom do to make you this mad? I haven't even been around a full day yet. He gripped the edge of the table, refusing to make eye contact. The words he spoke were barely audible over the din of the restaurant. You could have told me. She leaned forward to not miss anything else, eyebrows raised. Told you what? He finally seemed to find his voice and spoke the thoughts that had been on his mind. That I wasn't going to visit you this year. That you were going to be coming instead. Didn't you invite me? You wanted me here with you. Ko's eyes began to shake, and his frustration ebbed. I do want to be around, but I didn't know it would be like this. It's not the same, and nobody said anything.
I see.
I see. Her expression grew tense. She threaded her fingers together and placed her hands in front of her on the table. We've both been gifted another Clifford surprise. Referring to that as a Clifford surprise almost caught both you and Cove to crack a smile. You also had no idea his name wasn't just Cliff. Over 5 years, nobody had ever called him Clifford until now. She smoothed her hair out, not letting go her stern look. The more things change, the more they stay the same. They let out identical sighs, but smiled weakly at one another afterward.
I'm sorry.
I can go home, Cove. We can set up a normal trip to my place before the summer ends. Cove's lips tightly closed together. He seriously pondered the option.
I mean...
I think I do want you to stay. I miss it when you're not there. My heart! She reached across the gap, grabbed his face, and planted a kiss on his cheek. Cove tried to wiggle away. Mom, stop! I'm sorry. Sweet young men need to be smooched by their parents. If I don't, they'll take away my mom license. She's such a cute mom. Oh my god. I'm not gonna read that out loud, but, yeah. Kyra was completely enthused by Cove's admission, though a tone of seriousness did return to her voice when the conversation continued. Do you want to talk to your dad, too?
No!
No! Cove had snapped the words instantly, but reeled his annoyance back in just as quickly. Maybe later, not today.
It's all right.
I understand, we can shelve it. Thanks, Mom. Thank you for talking to me, little mister. She grinned affectionately at him before turning your way. And thank you, Lewis. Huh? What did I do? It's easy to act like a baby with your mom. It's harder to keep that up with your neighbor watching everything. Especially when you really care about what said neighbor thinks of you. She winked. Mom. She just ruffled his hair with a laugh, then moved her hand down to tap the end of his nose. And that was how the issue was resolved, at least between Cove and his mom. When the three of you left the restaurant and Kyra had paid the bill, you walked back to your neighborhood slowly. You had eaten so much by that time you were beginning to feel sleepy. It didn't help that the lunch had happened late and the sun was already beginning to descend from the sky. Oh boy, look at this dude. But eventually you reached your street. Someone was there to greet your group upon arrival. Welcome back, family, and Lewis too.
Huh.
Cliff? Dad? That's why they got divorced. There's Cove being... No. No. She knows you both are not straight. Yeah, she knows it. The two walked past him into the condo without sparing another word. Despite the summer heat, their shoulders were cold. Oh, I'm in trouble. He rubbed the back of his neck with a crooked smile, but his eyes were soft as he looked on after them. He's so much like his mom, don't you think? You gave a vague nod, not sure what he was expecting you to do. He nodded back far more energetically. Okay, have a nice night, Lewis. You too, Mr. Holden. Kyra, have you seen my son Cove? He's about this tall, clearly gay, but we haven't talked about that yet. At least you know my parents are going to be completely fine with me being gay since, you know, they're both gay. Oh, no, I basically skipped most of step 1 this time around just because I wanted to see Jeremy today. We will probably go back and do that another stream, though. Summer hadn't started off at all how you imagined it would have, though it turned out to set the tone well. Having Kyra in the neighborhood was a new experience for not only you and Cove, but also both your families, and a dull moment was rarely had. Hey, we finally reached the spot. So, with that, I'm going to save. And we're going to switch games. And we're going to have a certain somebody join the call if they would still like to. I am probably going to pause the stream for 2 seconds just so that I can go and grab, throw something together quickly to eat. I'll just eat while I'm streaming, so it won't be that long, but I have to throw it together. So I will pause and put us on the a screen in a second. But yeah, this is going great so far. Thank you all for chilling, and I'll still go for a while yet because I do want to play Hive Swap. And I'm not going to bed for a while. But I'm going to pause for 1 second, and we'll be back ASAP. Hopefully, I click the right button. Let's see.